Alright guys, today's straight review is about the Harley Quinn animated TV series. Now, I'm just going to start by saying that I wasn't always the biggest fan of Harley Quinn as a character. I always felt like she was just a carbon copy of Dick Grayson. Not character-wise, but story-driven-wise. Like, just the way she progresses into her own character kind of reminds me a lot about how Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing after he ditches Batman and literally says, "Fuck Batman." She's also obnoxious and often treats most guys like they're fucking stupid. Like, I get that that's probably a big part of her personality and that's kind of what makes her character stand out, but it's just all fucking scummy in my opinion. Now, before any of the Harley Quinn fans lose their minds, understand that there are some things about the Harley Quinn character that I do appreciate, such as her finally breaking up with the Joker and realizing that she can be more than just his girlfriend. I thought it was a pretty interesting way to kickstart her character, however, I do believe that this is something that she could have done on her own, considering that she was a psychiatric therapist. I also like her new character design. Her original character design is pretty cool too, but her new character design actually feels like it's more realistic and relatable. You know, kind of like Nolan's Joker from the Dark Knight series. Alright, I've talked enough about Harley Quinn for now. Let's talk about some of the stuff I actually like about the show. I know I've said before that Joker isn't my favorite DC villain, but in here he is phenomenal. Alan Tudyk did an outstanding job playing as the Joker. Don't worry, he's not exactly in the same caliber as Mark Hamill, but unlike other past iterations, his Joker is actually tolerable. The Harley Quinn animated TV series has a pretty star-studded cast. You have Jason Alexander as Cyborg Man, JB Smoove as Poison Ivy's Plant Frank, Chris Maloney as Jim Gordon, Mr. Samurai Jack himself Phil Lamar as Black Manta, and of course you have Dietrich Bader back as Batman. But out of all the cast members, I must say that Kaley Cuoco really steals the show as Harley Quinn. If you haven't seen any of her work on The Big Bang Theory, go check it out. I think you'll know as well as I know how absolutely great she is in this role. Her character Penny on The Big Bang Theory is sassy, quirky, and is really entertaining to watch, just like Harley Quinn. So therefore, I think it's pretty safe to say that Kaley Cuoco is probably the next best casting choice for Harley Quinn. Also, it's pretty interesting to see Dietrich Bader return to the role of Batman after all of the controversy of him playing as the character in Batman the Brave and the Bold, a series that I have already reviewed on my channel before and might re-upload when I get the chance. But yeah, believe it or not, Dietrich Bader is a good Batman. Yeah, he may not be in the same caliber as Kevin Conroy, because of course Kevin Conroy will always be remembered as the world's most iconic Batman. But Dietrich Bader still does a pretty good job playing as Batman to the point where the character is still recognizable, even if he may not be 100% memorable from your perspective. I think it's really cool to see an entire animated series centered around a character like Harley Quinn. But like I said earlier, I wasn't a fan of them having her go through what seemed to be the same character arc as Robin, aka Dick Grayson. Plus, the whole leaving Joker, forgetting about him, and finding your own path seems like a decision she could have made a long time ago. I mean, seriously, I never understood why she liked him so much, because like I said before, I never really liked the Joker as a character. And quite frankly, I find him to be a little bit oversaturated in media, like what a lot of people say about Batman. But after watching that one episode where Harley Quinn and her crew enter her subconscious mind to rewrite all of the mistakes she has made in the past, it kind of made me see why she has always liked the Joker so much, and why she often struggles with trying to forget about him. The Harley Quinn animated TV series is about Harley and her development throughout the series, which is a lot of fun to explore if you're into comedy and action, which this show is a great combination of both. So yeah, again, like I said before, the overall plot is a lot of fun to explore. However, looking at it from a realistic standpoint, it does feel a little bit, just a little bit, contrived. At least to me it does, being that I am not a fan of the main protagonist. And of course, I gotta talk about the animation. The animation style of DC's Harley Quinn is real nice and kinda reminds me of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It has a nice, settled, genuine tone to it, and I just love animated TV shows like that. Yeah, sure, I will agree that it may not be a masterpiece, but it most certainly is way better than all of the cheesy, chibi 11-minute shit that we keep getting on Cartoon Network these days. And the worst part about it is, they don't even seem to be showing any signs of slowing down. Oh, and one little side note. Another thing that I am not very fond of in this series is Robin, aka Damian Wayne, played by Jacob Tremblay. Gosh, I hope I'm not butchering that last name. I wasn't a fan of them making him feel like a whiny bitch because I feel like that kind of character trope gets overplayed way too much in comic book TV shows, especially with the character Robin. I honestly would have preferred if they had went the Batman Bad Blood route and showed us a more mean-spirited and passive-aggressive Damian Wayne. You know, who actually wins fights. This guy gets his ass kicked by Harley Quinn, and it just gets even more ridiculous from there. Robin's not exactly my favorite DC character, so therefore I don't expect too much from him. But if you're gonna make Robin a bitch, at least make him somewhat interesting. Robin in the OG Teen Titans, believe it or not, is a whiny bitch. However, at the end of the day, he still does remain a pretty interesting character in his own right, by showing us some of the true characteristics of Dick Grayson that is often ventured out in DC Comics. I'm not saying that Damian Wayne needs to be exactly like Dick Grayson, what I am saying is that he needs to be cool. Because otherwise, why the fuck should I care so much about wanting to watch this guy if he's not interesting? I mean, this is the guy who was raised by the League of Assassins, and was trained by fucking Ra's al Ghul, the same guy who trained the Dark Knight. Damian Wayne is a badass, and I feel like they really botched his character in this series by making him a whiny brat and a moron. I know that kids by nature are whiny brats, but for Damian it's no exception, considering that he was raised by the League of Assassins. Same goes for Batman too. I feel like they kind of hindered his character as well in this series. But then again, this show is about Harley Quinn, not Batman, so I don't know, whatever, I digress. I love how this series is pretty much told from the perspective of a storyteller and not a producer, because it really shows how much of an impact good art and creative freedom can deliver if given the time and effort to achieve it. DC's Harley Quinn feels a lot like Batman Beyond, because not only does it predict the future of the Batman lore and paves the way for an expanded universe outside of DC's mainstream library, but much like Batman Beyond, it shows us exactly how ballsy and experimental it could be from time to time. And I am 100% on board for that mindset, because I am so sick and tired of companies like Cartoon Network feeding us a bunch of mediocre shit that does not stick, and when it does stick, much like the Powerpuff Girls franchise, it ends up getting shafted later on. So good luck, Thundercats Roar, you're gonna need it. But anyway, getting back to DC's Harley Quinn, just to let everyone know, I only reviewed 2 episodes of this series, and that is because I'd rather you guys check it out yourselves. It's definitely worth your time. It's not perfect like I pointed out before, but much like Birds of Prey, it does have a lot of watchable quality that I think is pretty hard to pass up. So therefore, I'll give it an average score of 7.5 out of 10. And as for Birds of Prey, I might make a review someday down the road, but it's going to take some time because I literally just got started on the script for my upcoming Arrowverse video, and I'm not even sure when that video is going to be ready because I actually have a lot to say in regards of coverage. Not too much, but just enough to give you guys my general thoughts about the Arrowverse as a whole. Also, keep in mind that these videos do take a lot of time and effort to make. So if I don't upload a video within the time schedule as promised, understand that it's because I actually do want to take the time to construct my videos a little bit better, so that they don't come across as clickbaity or toxic. I know I kind of said in my last video that I'm not doing this whole YouTube thing for money, to which I really am not. That's a promise that I do live by. But at the end of the day, I still want my videos to be somewhat presentable and consistent. Anyways, that concludes today's episode of Stroik Reviews. I'm King Bishop, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.